What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, YouTube? How we doing? It's your boy Trey coming back again for another freaking video. Your master weeb back in the building. I'm wearing a hat. I don't usually wear a hat, but I got this in Colorado. Once upon a time, I went there and I hiked up and down Pikes Peak with a couple of buddies from college. Their names were Noah and Austin. And I remember we got to the top. There's a 16-mile hike up. We shotgunned a Bud Light. I should have got a Coors. I know. I was in Colorado. And we literally just hiked down and smacked some chicken and waffles from Waffle House. It was a pretty good day. But nonetheless, guys, we're going to dig into the stock market today, AMC, what has been going down, and all that sort of fun stuff. And on top of that, you had some pretty interesting news from Citadel, which I'd like to spend the most time on. I haven't choked on my spit in a while. Jesus. But I'd like to spend a decent amount of time on. So we're gonna start off that with that here today. So I've got this pulled up. Check this out. This came from Unusual Whales, and I did a little bit of digging around, and I actually found the original image, funnily enough, from Trey's spit. It's funny because I was literally just choking on my spit a second ago, but he also shared a picture showing the actual percentages that I'm about to show you right here. So check this out. Justin, Citadel updated its liquidity terms for all investors, limiting quarterly withdrawals to 6.25%, meaning it would take 4 years to fully pull out unless a pay is fee. I think what Wales meant to say, he was so excited by this fucking enamorating news, he meant to say a fee is paid, but nonetheless, this is some crazy stuff, guys. I mean, to put this into perspective, this would be the equivalent of if you put money into a bank. Let's just say you put $1,000 into the bank, and they said, hey, we're going to take care of this money for you. But in the meantime, you can only pull out 6.25% of this on a quarterly basis, just because we kind of need the money. We're hurting pretty bad. I know this is your cash, but tough shit, dude. We got your purple nurples in our hands. You're just gonna have to deal with it. And you actually have proof of this exact thing from a Bloomberg article right here. Old terms versus new withdrawal terms. It used to be 10% a quarter without a fee, and now it is 6.25% a quarter without a fee, lowering the amount that you can actually draw out to the point where, as Whale said, it would take you 4 years to fully withdraw whatever you had locked into your account. 25% a quarter used to be the old terms. Now it's 5% a quarter for Millennium. You can just keep reading, right? It's pretty insane what's tightening down right now. And if I had to give you any sort of guess, I think it's just because the market is so uncertain and so volatile right now. I mean, if you think about the way that big firms trade, big hedge funds trade, let's just look at the VIX, right? What does the VIX tell you? The VIX is the volatility index. This is essentially like, hey, the market is pretty shaky right now. There's a lot of bouncing around. Most hedge funds and firms don't make money on that, right? They play the easy route because they have a lot of money to make. They've got, let's just say you're managing $10 billion. They average 5% a year. They're doing pretty damn good versus a guy who's got $1,000 making 5% a year, right? So this really kind of hurts them a little bit. Titan, there's nothing on my screen, buddy. And I think that's really what you're looking at in terms of with Citadel and many other firms. I mean, you can see the differences here. Millennium, Verishan, and Schoenfield, Hudson Bay, all these different percentages have changed quite a bit in comparison to what you've seen in the past. And ultimately, that's people holding your money. So, I don't know how I feel about that. Citadel is definitely one of the better ones here. They really didn't change their terms very much comparatively to some of these other big firms. But nonetheless, that tells you things are tightening up a little bit. And you can look at the overall SPY, look at the market, and see kind of some of this unease and shakiness that's really been taking place over the last week or two. And it explains a lot of what's going down. So there's your tea, there's your gossip, there's your news in terms of what's happening with Citadel in this current moment in time. We're going to give you a brief update on the AMC short interest. Not a lot has changed here, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, right? The short interest is currently sitting at 17.52%, change of about 0.43%, 89.87 million shares. There's really not much more to discuss on that, right? Utilization is still decently low. Utilization, in case you do not know, is how many shares are currently out on loan comparatively to the entire pie. So if you have 100% of a pie, 76% of that is currently out on loan, leaving the rest, that 24%, available to borrow from lenders. So there's not a crazy amount of demand compared to supply in terms of short interest that is not including any sort of derivatives that are being traded in this moment in time. What I'd like to spend the rest of the time on here is looking at the overall chart, right? This is some shaky waters, and I'm putting out more AMC update videos because I understand that this is stressful stuff when you see it down in that 20 high range, right? That can kind of shake your bones a little bit. And what you see kind of rocking right now is a break over this descending level of resistance, what I'd like to call a speed line. And it's holding that pretty decently well. In fact, you can see that it acted as support heading into the rest of the day. Got a clean break over that, and then it just bounced on top of that overall line, leaving the next one to be right here, right? This previous, you can say channel, it wants to reclaim that channel that it was trading in for that downtrend, while also maintaining the hold over this level right here. Now, I talked about this before. I did not think that you would see a quadruple bottom on that level, but you can see how heavily respected this is, right? Touch point right here, touch point right here, touch point right here, touch point, touch point, touch point. A lot of times it's trying to break underneath $27, and it cannot do it. And if you want to look at the overall macroscopic look on the chart, right? I've said this a million times. When in doubt, zoom out, look at things, the big picture. You can see how critical this level is, right? Comes all the way back here to what I would consider to be a very strong demand zone, essentially a point in which algorithms will step in to induce buying pressure on any sort of stock, and it's pretty well respected, right? You can see that right here. Choppy price action before a decent size move up. That would be labeled right here, and that is that $27 level where you got some chop way back before that decent run up that you saw in early June and late May. So with that being said, it's holding a level very strong. Now, that doesn't mean that we're necessarily out of the waters, but it is showing a good amount of strength, right? I like that a lot. Now, is it possible for us to come down and test this freaking 19-ish, $20 level of demand, right? It is possible. I'm not here to tell you that it's not, but I am here to tell you that this is the sign of a potential reversal and something to watch for. It doesn't mean that we're necessarily bullish. Doesn't mean that we're bearish. It means that the market's still making a decision, waiting to get back into those good waters. So what can I tell you about that, right? What can I say in the meantime while you're just watching the chart? If you have conviction in the play, right, and you truly do believe in what AMC is going to do, you think it's going to trade higher than it is right now, and you don't plan on buying more, or maybe you do, and you just want to set price alerts, whatever, step away from the chart, man. Don't watch my videos. Don't watch anybody's videos. Go do you. Don't focus on the psychological barrier that's going to bring you down negatively. Now, this isn't the same as being negligent to a position, right? I want you guys to be mentally, physically, emotionally in a good spot, right? That's very important. But if you are in a good spot, you've put money into this that you can afford to lose, you feel very comfortable with where you're at right now. There's no need to expose yourself to a negative sort of mentality. Two times. I choked on my spit twice. There's no need to expose yourself to that sort of negativity and that sort of bad thinking regarding the stock price if you think it's going to go higher, right? Just think about that. I've said this before, and I think it needs to be reiterated, is that the price is psychological. If you think that the stock is worth X, but it's trading at X minus Y, you're just biding time. In this situation, you're not trading price. You're trading time. You're waiting. Now, I'll tell you this. Tesla. What did it take for Tesla to get where it is right now? Years and years and years and years of fucking this. I mean, look at this. How long did it trade between freaking $37 and $77? Obviously, this is after the splits and stuff to get up to where it is now in that $1,000 range. It took a very, very long time. To me, this play is worth however long it takes, right? Some people need the money sooner. Some people don't really care. And ultimately, those decisions are up to you to make. But I will tell you this. This thing is doing some beautiful fucking stuff. Look at the big picture. Zoom out. Look at the weekly candles. Look at the daily candles. Look at the monthly candles, right? This is fucking beautiful. This is nice. This is a good looking chart, and you are making great progress. And you can see the similarities that are drawing up on a day-to-day and a week-to-week basis in terms of growth, in terms of progress, and in terms of making change in the market. And educating our neighbors and getting ourselves to a better spot than we were in before. I think the best way to wrap this up is to grab Titan right here and let him give you guys a nice goodbye. Ow. No, stop. Oh, you are such a chicken. He just loves fighting. Well, I think that's the way we're going to leave it off. I appreciate all of you tuning in. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you all tomorrow. Much love, like taps, and always in peace.